I like always break my promises. This isn't anything new. Fuck off. Hey, what is up, my Gaming Legion and everybody else who is watching? Welcome to the channel. I'm your host today, Gaming Legion. You can call me Legion, you can call me Jacob, whichever you prefer. Welcome back. I've got new things and I've got new news, but before I do that, I want to say, yeah, this isn't the Claire Expedition video. It's not coming. Much like every woman has said to me in life, it is not coming. If you're not really interested, I'm going to talk about this and then another thing before I get to the video. So if you want to just go watch the video, first of all, fuck you, asshole. You can go to that timestamp. Dickbag. To all the people who actually care about me! Thank you for staying. Thank you for staying. Yeah, so the video's not coming. I'm going to be honest. I'm not good with making full game reviews. If you've heard me on stream or some of these other videos, you're just going to be like, oh yeah, I love the game. Why do you like the game? This, and this. I can't go into any more detail. And to be honest, I can. The problem is that I will go into way too much detail and way too many rants and way too many side tangents. And I already recorded this video once. Well, not this video, but I already recorded the video. It was an hour and a half long. And then I realized there's a lot more I wanted to say and that I was rambling in the other video. So I said, fuck it. We're not even going to do it. I was supposed to re-record it for this one. I was literally ready. And then I'm like, dude, I don't even know what I want to really do with this. It's kind of one of those problems where the more I sit on something, the less I want to do it. And then as time went on, since I released that last video about 2 weeks ago now, I just wanted to do it less and less, if I'm being honest. Especially because I'm somebody who's like, if I'm going to say something, I would kind of like to put my own 2 cents in, put something in there that nobody said before. And everything I was going to say, who hasn't said it? It was going to be me talking about some of the mechanics in the game and some of the like overarching stuff in the story and just some other things, how they've taken inspirations from stuff. And I'm just like, who hasn't said this already? And who's coming to me to find this information? If you were coming to the video just to hear about Claire Obscure, you probably already knew all this information. So I'm like, you know what? It's already been a while. Everybody else has made a video on it. And while I'm not above, you know, like hopping on a bandwagon, I've done this before. I also want to put my own 2 cents in. And if I can't, I really don't feel the like urge to do it. Like with the last Claire Obscure video, I had a real urge to talk about this, mostly because nobody had been talking about it at that point. But at the same time, it's like, I really want to talk about this, and I got stuff that nobody's talking about. Maybe somebody hasn't mentioned, or this is just, you know, being misconstrued. I wanted to say this. I was a lot more hyped for that video. The whole game review, not so much. Maybe that'll change in the future. Maybe if I'm able to actually like do it quicker within like a few days, maybe that'll be something. I don't know. But I don't really have the drive nor the time to do that, especially when I'm trying to stream every single day. By the way, go check me out on everything for streaming. All right, that's that. Sorry, I'm still here again. If you want to be a dickbag asshole, timestamp. But I want to update you guys on a few things because a few things have been happening that I'm very happy about. Very happy about. First of all, speaking of that last Claire Obscure video, thank you guys so much for the fucking, just for watching it. Dude, I thought that video was going to do well, but like my well right now is like maybe a few hundred views, 1,000 if I get lucky. Y'all 5x to that shit. As of the time of recording, it has reached over 5,000 views. I did not think that was going to happen anytime close to now. I genuinely thought, oh, maybe in a year I'll get close to that. Maybe once the summer is over, maybe I'll have a little bit more of a following. No. Y'all blew that shit out of the water. Not only that, you got me to 100 subscribers. Thank you so much. And not only that, you got me to about 130. I think it's at 129 at the time I'm currently recording. Fucking thank you. You are not the dickbag that skipped. I'm joking, but legitimately, thank you so much. It makes me so happy that I'm seeing some progress. Like I do this shit for fun. I'm not getting paid. I can't get paid right now anyway on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. I can't get paid. So I'm very much doing this for fun, but knowing that I'm doing this for fun and it's actually reaching people, that makes me so happy. So again, thank you guys so much for that. And if you're not subscribed, I won't call you an asshole. Pretty please. Please subscribe and like and comment. I don't care if you comment mean shit to me. I will just fucking I'll just flick you back. I am also not above pettiness. And also real quick, I'm gonna do it at the end of the video, but I want to do it again here. Streaming. ladies and gentlemen, I've been getting on my streaming grind. I got my Elgato fixed again, finally. So now I can actually stream for my PS5 and my PS3 and my consoles and everything, and it's been going really well. A few of you over here on YouTube have been helping me out over there in the chat, keeping me up, keeping my spirits high during these streams, and just hanging out with me. But we've been playing the God of War Greek series, or the Greece series, the Greece saga, and we're actually almost done with it. Currently, as of recording this, we are running through God of War 3 right now, and then we will be doing God of War Ascension the next week. But this will hopefully be out by Monday, if not Tuesday, we'll see. The Nintendo Switch 2. I got my pre-order. I have both of my receipts right here, right under my Nintendo Switch, so I know where the fuck they are. So if you guys want to see some on the ground, boots on the ground fucking journalism, if you guys want to see an unboxing, you want to see it with me, please, pretty please, 12 a.m. or between 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will hopefully be hopping on and doing a whole unboxing of the Nintendo Switch 2 along with the Pro Controller and the camera, and we're going to check it all out. We're going to play a shitload of Mario Kart World, and then on that Friday, the day after Friday, June 6th, we're going to be checking out some of the upgrade packs and some of the free upgrades. We're going to be doing that, as well as the Summer Games Fest with Jeff Keighley. So please, if you're interested in any of that, please go check me out on my Twitch, my TikTok, my Kick, or subscribe to here on my YouTube channel, my main channel here, where I will be having all of that. And if you end up missing it, but you do still want to go back and watch, you can go over to my VOD channel where I upload the full VODs. Although for the actual Nintendo Switch 2 unboxing, I will probably have a main channel video. I will be putting that on here with a few other things. I'm thinking when I go over to GameStop to do the midnight release, they said they were going to have some little events. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do like some recording, and I'll throw it into the video on my phone. So we'll have some fun. Also, I got a new camera. I don't know if you can really notice, but I can notice, and it makes me look so much better. It makes me look so much cuter and uglier. So you're welcome. You now get to see more of the pores on my ugly ass face. But without further ado, to the assholes who skipped to this timeline, it is time to start the video. The levels of a fandom, more specifically in gaming, but this kind of branches out to everything else. Music, movies, TV, comics, manga, anime. This kind of branches out generally, but when you branch it out to those different areas, it can get a little, it can get shifted in one direction or the other. Now, yes, there are levels of a fandom, at least in my opinion. You're not going to take a fan that's on the level of, oh, I watched a streamer play it and I enjoyed the story, I liked the gameplay I saw, but I just haven't played the game. I can still see them as a fan of the game, but you're not going to equate them to the person that has played this game 10,000 times or has like 100,000 hours in the game, has merch of the game, has the collector's edition. We're not equating them, like, they're not on the same level. And how I like to place these levels of the fandom on a graph is a nice little bell curve. Now, again, I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on gaming, but you can add or take out points depending on equating this to another, like, medium. But this is kind of general. It kind of fits the bill in most cases. So starting off here with the first point, again, we're specific to gaming. You've watched streams, gameplay, or playthroughs of this game. So let's say you watched Kai Cenat when he was doing Elden Ring or any of these Souls-like games like with Sekiro, and you just watched him play it. You've never played Elden Ring, you've never played Sekiro, and you just watched him play it. And even after he played it, you still haven't gotten the game, you haven't played it. Your favorite YouTuber, your favorite streamer, they've played it, they've done gameplay of it, and you've watched it, but you have not actually interacted with the game yourself. You might know the story of it, but you haven't actually, like, really gotten into it. You haven't experienced it for yourself. You got the streamer or the YouTuber's, you know, filter of it, I guess you could say. You didn't exactly get to go through the story with your own thoughts in your own head. You also had the streamer, or like right next to you, saying their thoughts in your head, which you might not agree with, but, you know, streamer, you got somebody right there talking in your ear. It influences you a little bit. Another little note that's put in this section is that you don't even really care about the game. Like, you might like the game, like, you might think it's cool, but you don't really care that much. Like, you're not going out there and doing lore dives or anything. You're not going out there and, like I said, buying the game, buying merch, buying collector's editions. You're not also, like, fighting for the fucking game to be, like, game of the year or anything. You're just like, it's a game. It's cool. I like it. but I'm not a diehard, I'm gung-ho for it type deal. Like, you can hear somebody say, oh, I don't like that game, or I hate that game, and you can be like, okay, cool. Good for you, buddy. I put them at the bottom of the bell curve because while they are not the most annoying people to talk to about these games, it's definitely annoying. And I say this because when you try and talk to them about, oh yeah, I really liked when I was doing this boss or this, or I really like the lore about this, or with Claire Expedition 33, you might be talking like about the ending, like we did in the last one, no spoilers, but you might be talking about the ending and how you decided on all of that. And somebody who hasn't played the game and only saw the streamer play it and hasn't really delved any deeper into it is just like, I mean, like, I choose this, and then just misconstrues a bunch of shit. It's like, it's not even really their fault because they just don't know, but it is also their fault because they're trying to argue without going and figuring it out themselves. And you see that with a lot of games and a lot of movies and TV and stuff where people just haven't watched or played the game. They haven't played the game. They haven't watched the movie. They haven't watched the show. You know, they haven't even listened to the music, and then they're making all these assumptions about it. And it gets really annoying to talk to them because you can't do anything. They don't even know what they're talking about. The next little point I have here, one little tick up on the bell curve, is played through the game once. So that's somebody who owns the game and they've played through, but they haven't really like done any extra playthroughs. They maybe haven't done a new game plus, or if it's an older game, they just haven't replayed through. They haven't done all the side content. Maybe they haven't platinumed the game or, you know, gotten all the gamer score. They haven't gotten all the achievements. They went through, they got the basic gist of the story with the main game, and they didn't really interact with much else outside of that. I personally have done this with stuff like Space Marines 2. I played through the main story. I did a little bit of side content. Unfortunately, I'm just not like so gung-ho into it that I want to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to learn everything about Warhammer and everything about the Space Marines. Unfortunately, that's just not for me. Or maybe it is, but I just haven't given it the time. This is at a place on the curve where I say there's some of the more reasonable people just because, like, you know, they've played through the game, so they at least got a general understanding of what they're talking about. Like, you can talk to them about some of the bosses, and they can be like, oh, yeah, I remember that boss, or I don't remember that name. Oh, that move? I remember that move. Yeah, I know what boss you're talking about. Oh, my God, the ending. I really like the ending. Oh, I didn't really like the ending. I wasn't a big fan of that. But you can talk to them. They can understand. They can keep up with the damn conversation, and they can understand. And that might be one where they're like, again, they're not going to fight for it like gung-ho, oh my God, I love this thing. But they're going to be like, okay, you're talking a little bit crazy here. Like, you think it's here? No, it is here. Like I said, more reasonable, and depending on how you look at it, they actually might be the most reasonable, but I do think the next point on here is actually like the most reasonable people on this thing. The one at the very top of the bell curve here that I personally say is like the most reasonable people, depending on, you know, how you look at it, is the people who have done multiple playthroughs of the game. They've played it multiple times. They've maybe done a few new game plus runs. They've done all the side content possible. They've gotten all the achievements. So they have milked the game dry. There's somebody that has maybe even mastered the mechanics of the game in terms of combat or strategy, whatever it is. And like I said, there is an argument for this, but I do think they're the most reasonable people because you can talk to them about a game and they really know what they are talking about. So like they know if something's bullshit and somebody's just like trying to, you know, gaslight gatekeep girl boss. But I don't think they're just at that level where it's like, oh, they're off the deep end. Trust me, they're the next two we get into, you can understand going off the deep end. Also think personally that these people are like on average the most understandable when it comes to people not liking the game. Because like I said, they've done multiple playthroughs. They probably know a bunch about the systems and stuff. So if somebody has like a genuine, like, not argument, but reason why they don't like the game, like, I'm just not a fan of this combat system. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this. And they can just be like, I can understand that. That's totally fine. Again, on average, we're not counting Twitter as the average. I hope you understand that. Twitter is not the average here. Because, you know, people freak the fuck out on Twitter and they go ape shit. TikTok comment sections are like just as bad in my opinion. The next point we have here, going a little bit down, maybe around the same like line as played through it once, is looking at the lore and theorizing. These are people who have probably done multiple playthroughs to find all of this lore, but they're also going online to look at lore, whether that be from, you know, older games, or they're going through on the websites. You know, they're looking at fucking fan theories, and they're looking at what the director of the game has said, and they're looking at what the writer of the game has said, and they're using all of that to lore and theorize everything. There's some of the people who are reading through the item descriptions to really figure out what the fuck is going on, like MatPat levels, basically. Literally like game theory MatPat levels of going through these games. And while, yes, this is kind of a spectrum of, oh, some people can kind of, you know, still be cool and doing all this lore and theorizing. Like I said, with Warhammer and everything, a lot of lore and theorizing and stuff goes into that. With Claire Expedition 33, a lot of the questions here we have to theorize about. But I think where it starts to really go off the deep end for most people is when we get to the 5th point here. It becomes their whole personality. Like, they can't shut up about it, or as soon as you get them on the topic, they will not stop talking. It is probably their favorite game ever. Their favorite game ever. And if it's not, I don't understand that. And they're also the people where if you try and act like the game is not good for whatever reason, switch in their brain fucking flipped. What do you mean you don't like the game? What did you not like about the game? Oh, it's yada yada. Motherfucker, this isn't yada yada, this isn't yada yada, this isn't yada yada. They try and, you know, point fingers and make comparisons and stuff, and they're like, you know, they're going over the top with it. Like, people who make it their whole personality. Oh my god. Can you figure out what part of the Expedition 33 fandom I'm a part of? Like, I see this a lot more with anime and manga, especially when it comes to the big three and fucking One Piece and Naruto, JJK, Dragon Ball, Bleach. I see it a lot with those fandoms. So I also see this for stuff like Call of Duty, 2K, Overwatch, League of Legends, Valorant, Black Myth Wukong when that was going on last year. We saw that. Spider-Man 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 when that was going on in 2023. Had a lot of people from those camps. People who were ride or die for this game. People who were unable to see any of the bad with these games. Fucking Dragon Ball Sparking Zero for a little bit there. Everybody was saying this was going to be Game of the Year. You're fucking wild. Yes, the anime fighting game, where anime fighting games have never won Game of the Year. The Dragon Ball game hasn't ever won Game of the Year, and didn't even score that well on Metacritic compared to the other games that were nominated. You're funny. You're funny. That's kind of where I see all of these parts of the fandom. And you can tack other things on there, but I just didn't really know where to throw them exactly. Like getting merch and stuff, or like getting collectibles for a game. It's like, I don't know exactly where you would throw that in here. I definitely don't think it would be like, you know, at the very start, at the bottom with people who've watched it on stream. I would probably throw it more in maybe multiple playthroughs, but like you could also maybe throw that in people who've played the game once and just really enjoyed it. I don't know. That's where it gets a little funky. Collector's editions as well. I don't know if I would throw that in the lore and theorizing, or if I would throw that in the whole personality. Don't look at my my receipt for the Monolith set. Don't look at that. That's not real. That's been doctored. That was AI. That's AI. That's VO3. That's VO3. Yep. That's what it is. It's all prompt theory, baby. It's all prompt theory. But yeah, it really depends on like who you are, what's the medium, what are you looking at, on where you fall here. And to be honest, even these like little sections are not like the overall, this is exactly what the person looks like. Because while I was saying like, oh, they might care about the game a lot, they might not care about the game, you still have your people like in there who are like, I watched my streamer play it and my streamer liked it, it's the game of the year. And I'm just like, oh brother, at least pick up the fucking game, at least add to the Steam DB chart, please. Sorry, I needed to get that rant out. I was never going to make a full video on it, and I needed to say it somewhere. And I just haven't on TikTok, so we're saying it here. But where do you fall? When it comes to different games, where do you fall on this whole bell curve of being in a fandom? Like, I like to think I can be pretty introspective. I very much well know with Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, I am definitely in the looking at the lore and theorizing and your whole personality. I'm honestly leaning towards the whole personality thing, because if you say Claire Expedition 33 is bad, I will kill your shit. I'll fucking rip your head off. But then you go to something like the God of War games, where I would say I'm on like a playthrough once, multiple playthroughs. I'm enjoying it. I think it's cool. I've only done one playthrough of each of the games I've played so far, but I have milked it for all I could get, to be honest. So I'm like kind of in the middle on those. And then you go to something like, I don't know, maybe FNAF. Actually, FNAF's in a weird place because I haven't really played many of the games. I haven't played any of the games really, but I kind of in the lore, not like deep into the lore. I'm searching every fucking Reddit page, but like I know about the lore and the theorizing and stuff. That's because of game theory, though. Do we count that? Poppy Playtime is a better one. Like, Poppy Playtime is cool to me, but I've never played the game. I've only seen Markiplier play it. I've seen Jacksepticeye, but like I said, I don't even watch the game theories. I've seen people play it, but I think it's cool. Like I said, depending on the medium, depending on the product or the artist or whatever the fuck it is, you'll be on a different part of the spectrum here. So what do you guys think? Do you think there's more little like parts that can be added to each of these points? Do you think there should be more points to kind of spread it out because you feel like, oh, I'm not that much of a bitch? I guess you are. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Please watch my other videos. Go follow me everywhere else that I got. I'll say this again because some of you probably skipped to the timestamp. Fuck you again. We're going to be doing a Nintendo Switch 2 stream. I got my receipts right here under my Nintendo Switch, and on the Thursday that it comes out, we will be doing a stream about midnight to 1 a.m. whenever I get it and can get back here. But I will be going to GameStop to get my midnight release console. We'll bring it back. We'll do an unboxing of the console and the accessories that I have, and we'll play around with Mario Kart World. The next day, we'll do some of the free upgrades and the upgrade packs. We'll check some of those out, and we will also be streaming Summer Games Fest next Friday. So again, if you guys are interested, please check me out here on the main channel where we will be streaming this, or you can check me out on Twitch, TikTok, or Kick. I will also be streaming it on there. And if for some reason you are not able to be there, no worries at all. You can go sub to my VOD channel where I will be uploading the full VODs of everything when we are done with the stream. With the actual Nintendo Switch 2 unboxing, I'm gonna think about putting that on my channel here on the main channel, and also add in some like vlogging clips of me while I'm at the event for GameStop. Just, you know, few quick clips, maybe add a few other things in there. We'll see, but I will probably be putting that on the main channel here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good day. Peace out. I love you guys. Fly right straight to your dome, you can time